back here in Auburn as we are back for game number 2 of this doubleheader. Quick turnaround, 6:55 first pitch. We are underway. The Doubledays just coming off of a 4-2 ball game win in the opener against as that one's drilled into the gap between third and shortstop here for Brady McGuire to start this ball game. Nolan Smith, he would play right field in this ball game. Comes up to bat. Pitch inside for ball number 1 to Smith. Doubledays did a good job in that last game as runners on the move. That one's going to be hit into the shift as the second baseman was going to cover second, leaving a wide open area at second base for that ball just to creep through. Just like that, 2 runners on and runners on the corner here as Justin Bremer comes to the plate.
It's now Justin Bremner stepping up to bat for the TarpSkunks. With runners on the corners, first and third, still no outs. 2 quick hits given up for Connor Usowski, the local kid out of Port Byron High School, just finished up his senior season. That pitch in there for strike 1. Doubledays just picked up a 4-2 win over the TarpSkunks, looking to repeat that same magic they had last game as that pitch in the dirt for ball number 1. In that first game, Bremner also batted in the 3 slot, went 1 for 3 with a single. Bremner, the left fielder out of Canisius University. That one golfed into shallow left center field. That'll score an early run as 3 quick hits against Usowski puts runners on first and second with a 1-0 lead for the TarpSkunks.
TarpSkunks jumping on the pitcher early. We're able to score 1 in the first inning of the first game. Then Owen Burchard really shut them down. We're going to have to see if Connor Usowski is going to be able to do something similar. And it's a tougher scenario now. Still nobody out and runners on first and second.
Pitch for Usowski, looking to get out of some early trouble. That one grounded over to Bonfiglio, who makes the... Does he make the play? No, doesn't get there in time. A great effort by Bonfiglio. Just couldn't corral the ball and then get there before the base runner. So now the bases are loaded as Usowski struggling early. 4 quick hits to kick things off.
What a play by Bonfiglio, even getting to that ball and diving back. I think he might have took a part of the slide from Nolan Smith there, diving into third base, but putting his body on the line. Something you love to see. Great effort by him.
Yeah, Bonfiglio, a big guy, kind of has that catcher's mindset, willing to do the dirty work, get a little bruised up in order to make the play. Just a bit too slow there on the chance to get out Smith at third base. Haynes at first, Bremner at second, Smith at third. Bases loaded, still no outs for Usowski. That pitch swung on, chopped up, foul to the right side, 1-1 count. At the plate is Nathan Borchardt of the TarpSkunks. Following Borchardt, it'll be Marshall and Costello. That pitch misses the strike zone for ball 2. Sasky in a lot of trouble early on. Can't afford to load the bases with a run already given up, mind you, without any outs, as that one grounded foul down the right line. Count now 2-2.
Yeah, big moment here in this game. Of course, this game only 7 innings, so all the less time if you're playing behind in this game, trying to make up the other team's lead. You want to keep this lead limited if you can, if you're Uzowski.
Borchardt had a double in his last at bat of the first game. That one swung on, grounded over to the first baseman Albright to home to Cesare, making the first out of the game. Good decision there by the rookie Albright. Instead of trying to run it over at first for the guaranteed out, throws it over to home to prevent any chance of the TarpSkunks scoring a run.
Yeah, cutting down that lead runner, huge. Now, hey, Uzowski is able to get another ground ball, potentially inning-ending double play. That's what he is hoping for.
Pitch way outside there for ball one. Another big at bat here. Force out every play. Double play certainly in question. Here's that one chopped high. That's going to be an infield pop out. Big out there for Usowski, who now is looking at the chance of escaping this inning with just one run given up.
Talk about a huge out right there. Exactly what the Doubledays needed.
So now with 2 outs on the board, bases still loaded, that takes the sacrifice fly out of the equation, takes the sacrifice bunt out of the equation. Up to bat is Dom Costello, sophomore. Doesn't swing on that one. A great breaking ball there from Musowski for the first ball of the at-bat. Just barely misses the strike zone. Costello will be followed up by Weeks and Rodriguez. Weeks did play in that first game. Rodriguez did not. That pitch in there for strike one. Another big breaking ball that this one finds a strike zone. Musowski pitches in, and that one grounded over to the second baseman, second to short for the easy out. That's Vivakwa connecting with Sullivan for the third out of the inning, and Usowski escaping trouble there, had the bases loaded with no outs and a run already in, and limits the damage to that. Just one run scored. The Doubledays will thank their lucky stars as they head into the bottom of the first with just a 1-0 deficit. Kicking things off for the Auburn Doubledays, it's going to be Tyler Vivakwa leading off again. He'll be going against pitcher Daniel Thomas, a senior righty out of Mercyhurst University. Thomas, a veteran, was even a redshirt senior in his career as a Laker. 7-5, 97 strikeouts, 3.64 ERA. Now on the TarpSkunks, putting together a solid campaign so far as he gets Vivakwa to whiff on that first swing. Vivakwa didn't have the best of games in the first time around. 0 for 3 on the day. This time, though, he gets to play in the field, which it seems like Vivakwa benefits from being in the field. It gets him more in the flow of things. He'll be playing second with Sullivan. We saw him connect with Sullivan to close out the first inning. 1-1 count. That one fouled off behind Vivakwa for the second strike of the at-bat.
Definitely, I think it just gives Vivakwa, you mentioned just being in the field, just more juice throughout this game. You're not going back to the dugout every half inning, sitting, waiting to come to the plate. I think it got to get you more into the flow of the game.
That pitch comes in way outside for ball 2. Vivakwa, a freshman, will be attending Niagara University next year, went to Liverpool High School. 2-2 count, the pitch comes in, and Vivakwa will chop at it to stay alive. Fouls it off to the right side.
Stereotypical, just staying alive, swing right there. Good job by Vivakwa.
From what we've seen of Thomas so far, generally high 80s on his good fastball. A little bit of break in it. There's that one that breaks just out of the strike zone for a 3-2 count. Vivakwa battled all the way back. The pitch from Thomas comes in and does not catch the strike zone. Vivakwa battles for a walk, fights through the early pitcher's count, and that brings Sullivan up to the plate. He was batting cleanup in the first game. This time around, he'll be in the 2 slot. Sullivan followed by Schwake and DeCesare. Runner on first, no outs, as that one way outside, just out of the glove of the catcher Lindquist. Reference, that's Branston Lindquist, the freshman catcher. Pitch comes in way outside. Two walks so far. Or sorry, 2 balls so far. A 1 walk as we're looking at Sullivan looking to force the second walk of the game. That one in there for strike 1.
Good pitch there from Thomas on the outside part of the plate. Wonder, is Vivakwa going to stay on first too long in this at bat?
You saw the Doubledays not have a ton of respect for the catcher last game in Delansky, this time around with Lindquist. We'll see. Vivakwa, a speedy guy on the bases, but they haven't really shown any tendency to no big lead here, so haven't really shown steal at all. 3-1 count. As the veteran struggling to find the zone early, already seen 1 walk, 1 ball away from another. And that one swung on and missed by Sullivan. A big hack at it, not able to make contact. Parker Schwig on deck. He's champing at the bit. He wants a chance at this new pitcher. Schwig did not play in the first go-around. Sullivan inside, nabs Sullivan in the arm. The second time he's been hit today. He got hit in his first at-bat of the first game, and he'll take first.
Quickly, just like that. Doubledays trying to respond. Runners on first and second here in this bottom of the first. Now it's the TarpSkunks, and Daniel Thomas is Job to try and work out of trouble while the Doubledays are trying to cash in.
Parker Schwake, big righty batter here. Switching up from Sullivan, who's on the left side, as he fouls that one off. Schwake will be followed up by DeCesare and Kieran Kehoe. Runners on first and second, no outs. We saw a very similar situation, as you mentioned, Luke, with the Doubledays on defense in the top of the inning. But Connor Usowski able to get out of that one. We'll see if Daniel Thomas can pull off the same magic that we saw from Usowski.
And credit to Uzowski in that first inning. This could have been a completely different game. TarpSkunks could have put up a lopsided number. He was able to really buckle down, only giving up one in that situation. Going to keep Auburn in this ballgame.
That one swung on. That's going to be hit. Gets past the second baseman, McGuire. Not able to corral that ball. We'll see 2 runs score for the Auburn Doubledays. Or sorry, 1 run score for the Auburn Doubledays as they have 2 runners on base now. Vivacqua scores. Sullivan advances to second. Schwake to first.
Man, talk about a bullet up the middle. The only reason that ball slowed down and the second baseman, McGuire, was able to put a glove on it was because it hit the back of the mound. That was a bullet up the middle, and to hit the glove of McGuire would not stay in. Great job by Tyler Vivacqua. He was going immediately. He knew his speed was going to get him home.
And that pitch is in there for ball 1. Schwake with the RBI infield single. A lot of infield singles today. It's been a common theme throughout these 2 games so far. As that one, a single that gets through the infield, cuts into the outfield, and Sullivan will make a play for home, and he'll get there easily in time. Lindquist gets a hold of that ball, prevents any more damage from being done, but the Doubledays strike back with urgency, take a 2-1 lead.
Just like that. Great hitting from DeCesare, and then Schwake before him, just not trying to do too much. Find holes in the defense, and that they were able to do. Hey, we're 4 batters in to this lineup, and Auburn's grabbed the lead right back here.
2 hits for the Doubledays to kick this thing off. 2 runners on base, 0 out still, as Kieran Kehoe steps up to bat. He also didn't play in that first game. This is his first at-bat of the day. That one hit directly to the pitcher, Thomas, who will throw it over to first for the first out of the inning. Runners will advance there, so it effectively turns into a bunt for Kehoe, as both runners now in scoring position on second and third, with Sam Meyer up to bat.
Doubleday still in a great position here, even with 1 gone in the inning. You got 2 runners in scoring position with Sam Meyer. Swung the bat well this season. You see the infield coming in, trying to nab that lead runner.
Meyer 1 for 2 on the day so far. Played in that first game, was in the 3-hole. Had a single, a strikeout, and a walk. So it's been a diverse day for him. We'll see how he adjusts with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. That pitch comes in, hit over to the shortstop. Great play by the shortstop. The shift really worked. That's Marshall throwing it over to Rodriguez for the first out, or for the second out of the inning.
I talked about this in the first game. I was impressed by Brady Marshall over there at short. His range. Talk about he didn't really need much range there, but he needed a reaction, cat-like reflex. That ball was on a rope. Was able to kind of pick that off the dirt. A huge second out for the TarpSkunks. Now they can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Now it's Brendan Smith batting for the Doubledays. 2 runs scored, 2 outs on the board. That pitch high and outside for ball 1. A bit over 20 pitches for Thomas in his first inning of work. At this rate, we probably won't see a complete game for him like we saw from Owen Burchard in the first game for the Doubledays. That pitch in there for strike 1.
I know it's early in the season, but I might want to nominate Owen Burchard's start. It was one of the starts of the year. I know we got a lot of baseball left, but that was a beauty earlier today.
A game where the Doubledays weren't able to put up a ton of run support. 4 runs is solid, but in general, Auburn will need more runs than that. Is that one going to be a play at the first, and he gets there in time. Smith manages to outrun Thomas. Great hustle play by the young guy. Gets over there. That'll be another infield single, and Auburn will score another run.
Reason why that happened is Rodriguez Co. He was coming in to field that ground ball, not realizing the pitcher Thomas was going to field it. Thomas gets it. No one's covering first. It's a dash to first. And you know what? I like Brendan Smith. I like his speed over a lot of pitchers in this league.
That'll earn you some playing time. A lot of hustle there and forces a quick mound visit from the manager in Frank Jagoda. He's going to have a chat with Thomas, see how the veteran can lock back in after a rough and sluggish start.
You know, not only was he able to beat that out, that scored a run. That's an RBI right there for Brendan Smith, making it 3-1. Still runners on the corner, so you got a man in scoring position for Caden Albright.
What should have been a successful escape from trouble with only giving up 2 runs now turns into 3 runs given up with the potential for more damages. There's a passed ball there. More damage happens as a 4th run scores for the Auburn Doubledays. The slide there by Anthony DeCesare. Brendan Smith will take second, and now Albright up to bat, still with 1 runner in scoring position, but this time it's at second and another run on the board.
TarpSkunks, this is a problem in the first game too. Pass balls and wild pitches. It cost them a run in the first game, cost them another run here in the second game. Ironically, both times the pass ball to score, the runner from third made the score 4-1. So
just seems that the Doubledays have wanted it more through these games so far as Marshall throws it over, and another great play from Marshall, this time to end the inning. So we'll head into the second. The Doubledays building a huge 4-1 lead to kick things off. We're back here in the second inning as the Doubledays have accumulated a 4-1 lead. The TarpSkunks got on the board early, but Connor Usowski, the young pitcher, able to do a better job than veteran Daniel Thomas at getting out of danger. Only 1 run scored for the TarpSkunks, but the Doubledays were able to get 4 across thanks to just more hustle. They wanted it more than Jamestown did, and that's why it's an early lead despite having less hits. It was the story of last game. The Doubledays had less hits, 3 less actually. Nearly got doubled up by the TarpSkunks last game, yet they did have double the amount of runs as Jamestown.
Yeah, great job by the Doubledays immediately answering after what could have been a very awful top of the first. Connor Uzowski came in, realized, hey, I got to settle down. That one's low for ball one. Was able to. Offense said, don't worry, we got your back. We'll pick you up. You got us out of this jam. We'll create one of our own for Jamestown, and that they were able to do. Good job by this Auburn offense.
It's a 1-2 count for Weeks that gets hit right back to Usowski below the feet of Usowski. He can't corral that one. It'll head out into the outfield for a base hit.
That ball just hit on a line right at the feet. It looked like if Uzowski wasn't able to bend down in time to try and get that one. Leadoff single here.
Weeks gets his second hit of the day, first of this game, as that brings up Rodriguez of Jamestown. That's Joaquin Rodriguez. Pitch comes in. The curve narrowly misses Rodriguez, who doesn't move an inch there. He's not phased at all. Rodriguez, a big dude, 6'6", 230 pounds. Got the size that'll scare you. Now the lefty going against the lefty pitcher. That pitch in there for strike one. Certainly hard to miss his strike zone.
Kind of like an Aaron Judge type strike zone. Feels like everywhere.
Rodriguez looking to do a bit better than Aaron Judge did this past weekend, as Judge went 1 for 12 against the Red Sox.
Hey, to be fair, that one was a game-tying home run in the ninth.
True, true. You got to put extra value on those clutch hits. Something that we've seen Auburn do here today. They've been showing up when it's mattered most.
100%.
Pitch comes in and low for ball three. Zowski falling behind in this count. Zowski with a runner on base, gets it in on the outside part of the plate, loads up the count. We've got a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Still no outs on the board. As Zowski looking to nab the strikeout. As a runner goes, it will be a strikeout. The play will not be made at second, though. DeCesare just not able to get it over to second in time. So it's a looking strike for Rodriguez and a stolen base for Weeks.
Big pitch right there to get the strikeout. Uzowski was able to come back in that count. Hopefully he can find a way to settle in. Started last inning and the first inning off with a leadoff single. This inning with a leadoff single. Hopefully he can settle in quickly. Strikeout's a good sign.
Second straight inning with a runner in scoring position for the young pitcher Usowski. Brings up Branston Lindquist, the rookie catcher. Already 4 hits given up by Usowski in less than 2 innings. He's got to step up his game if he wants to last nearly as long as Burchard did. That one fouled off to the right side. 1-1 count.
With the fact that Burchard went 7 innings, hey, you have a full bullpen you can use if you're Auburn. If there is some type of trouble for Uzowski, feel free to go to that bullpen if needed in this ballgame.
See what manager Matthew Petrosi decides to do. That's a big swing and a miss there by Lindquist. Great pitch by Usowski to catch him swinging. Working his way closer to getting out of the inning. As you mentioned, a lot of options for the Doubledays in the bullpen on this game. Most of them righties, but one lefty. Is that one in there for strike 3? Great fanning pitch there by Usowski to get his second of the inning.
Hey, if you're pitching like that, no need to even think about the bullpen. Absolutely froze Lindquist right there with a beauty of a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Just the Connor Uzowski that can cause problems for the hitters.
That brings up the top of the order for Jamestown. It's Brady McGuire back up to bat. It's already a 1-0 count. McGuire singled in his first at bat. Actually, the entire top of the order for the TarpSkunks managed to single effectively. So we'll see if Usowski does a better job this time around. Hasn't started off too strong in this at bat. 2-0 count, two quick balls that weren't that close to the strike zone. And did he go around? Yes, he did. The field umpire judges that the bat of McGuire just got a little bit too far, and it'll now be a 2-1 count. Dangerously close to Usowski falling behind 3-zip, but instead it's a 2-1 count. That one in there for strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
That pitch was a carbon copy of the pitch that struck out Lindquist and froze him. Same pitch, freezes McGuire for strike two.
Usowski looking to take a page out of Burchard's book and just beat these batters with their mind. Is that one going to be chopped over to the right fielder? But Smith able to get underneath it for the final out of the inning. The Doubledays holding on to their 4-1 lead. We'll be back in the bottom of the second inning. We're back here in the bottom of the second inning. Mike Bonfiglio, who had an amazing outing in the first game of the series, now stepping up to bat for his first at-bat in the second inning. He went 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a walk. Also had a solid game out there in the field. He's made his impact felt so far this game in the field, now trying to do the same thing with his presence at the plate.
Even knocking down a ball earlier in this ball game at third, pitch outside for ball number one. Hey, if that ball would have found its way to the outfield, we're not looking at a 4-1 game. We're looking at more runs coming in for Jamestown. So Bonfiglio making his presence known early here in game two as well.
That one going to be chopped foul down the left side. One-two count. Behind Bonfiglio is Bobby Hardy. Then it circles back around to the top of the order with Vivacqua and Sullivan. Doubledays put together 4 runs in the first inning, trying to replicate exactly what they did there, matching their full game total from the first contest. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bonfiglio trying to hang in there, and he will hang even there even longer as that pitch outside for ball 3 loads the count up. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
See if Auburn
Thomas not having the strongest of starts.
see if Auburn can get another runner on base to lead off another inning like they did in the first.
That one, a chopper over to the third baseman, and the throw over to first is good. A solid connection there. As the third baseman gets it over to first for a quick out. Now Bobby Hardy up to bat for this Doubleday squad. That first pitch misses the zone, 1-0 count, or sorry, catches the zone. 1-0 count. 1 ball, 0 strikes. Pitch comes in and chopped into left field, barely foul. A big break for pitcher Daniel Thomas, as that one looked like it would have been a stand-up double for Bobby Hardy. Instead, he comes back up to the plate looking to prove himself again.
Yeah, if that stays fair, that's extra bases, no question about it. Big break for Jamestown. That one sliced just foul enough.
1-1 count, 1 out. That one inside, and it does clip the batter. Bobby Hardy will take his base. That one was close, just nabbed a piece of him, bringing up the top of the Doubledays lineup. It's Tyler Vivacqua, who's he's 1 for 1 this game, 1 for 4 on the day as a whole. Sorry, he's 0 for 0 this game, walked in his first at bat.
Worked a full count back in the first inning to earn that walk off at bat.
That one a big swing by Vivacqua, the biggest swing we've seen out of him all day. Not able to make contact on the 81-mile-per-hour breaking ball.
Yeah, just enough break to have Vivacqua swinging over that pitch. He was looking to do damage if he got a hold of that one.
You see a relatively big lead from Hardy. That ball misses the strike zone for ball 1. One count, 1 out, 1 runner on the bases. Sullivan on deck for that one, catches the outer part of the plate for strike 2. Excuse me. That's the bread and butter we see from Thomas. That 87, 88-mile-per-hour fastball that he just goes back to with consistency. That pitch goes. The runner will have to go back to first. Hardy took second, but after the foul ball, he'll have to trot his way back the walk of shame.
I'm going to say hit and run, but also Vivacqua staying alive with 2 strikes. Doing what he can here in the box, just trying to a way to reach first base. Hardy, we'll see if he's on the move again here.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and that's grounded into the gap. That'll be an easy single as Vivacqua hits it to the right fielder. 2 runners now on base with just 1 out, and Adam Sullivan, the RBI king, stepping up to the plate.
Great job by Vivacqua turning on that pitch, finding the hole between first and second where the second baseman wasn't. He was kind of shading more towards the bag. Great job there by Vivacqua. Advances the runner 90 feet and is on first base himself, as you mentioned, for Adam Sullivan.
Sullivan trying to replicate exactly what he did last game. That one, you'll be grounded to the first baseman. It's in play. Some Doubledays fans calling for that to be a foul ball. I think Sullivan thought it was foul, but umpires didn't have a great look at that one since it went directly to the first baseman, Rodriguez. They'll call it an out, and that does advance both Auburn base runners. So we see Hardy go to third, Vivacqua to second, nobody on first, Parker Schwake up to bat.
You know what? I'll say the fan here that yelled foul ball, he's got an umpire voice. He tricked me for a second. I thought it was a foul ball. Fan in the crowd immediately yelled, foul ball. You might have heard on the broadcast. I'm not sure, but yeah, for a second, it was that close. You couldn't really tell, and for a second, I thought it was a foul ball as well, but no. Home plate umpire said that ball was fair.
The first pitch to Schwake is a ball he singled in his first at bat. That one way outside.
Singled and drove in Tyler Vivacqua in that first at bat to get the scoring started for the Doubledays.
On deck for the Doubledays. As that one hit over too short, that'll score a run for Auburn. The throw from the shortstop is good. Marshall to Rodriguez. Sorry, that will end the inning as that was the final out. If it did get there in time, it would have scored a run. Instead, Auburn will exit this inning still with their 4-1 lead, but a good job by pitcher Daniel Thomas to stem the bleeding. We'll head into the third. Auburn 4, Jamestown 1. Kicking things off for the Jamestown TarpSkunks, it's Nolan Smith, not the Eagles' Nolan Smith, but instead the Nolan Smith who's gone 1 for 4 on the day, 1 for 1 in this ball game so far.
You think the Eagles' Nolan Smith ever played baseball?
I'd imagine he did, but you never know. He's a big guy, so if he did play baseball, he would have been a dangerous batter. As that one way inside for ball 2.
Yeah, he seems like a cleanup type of guy. That middle of a lineup.
I could see it. I could see it. He's got certainly would have the power. You
Yes.
see those guys benching 500 pounds with ease. Maybe not 500. That might be an exaggeration. But as that one chopped into shallow right center field, excuse me, that'll be a base hit for Nolan, who's 2 for 2 on the day.
Continues third straight inning here for Jamestown, where they've led off the inning with a single. Did it in the first inning, obviously scored a run. Did it last inning. Then Zowski was able to get through the next 3 batters, so we'll see how Zowski and the Doubledays are going to navigate this.
Justin Bremner batting for the TarpSkunks. Singled in his first go around. That one fouled off to the right side, popped up out of play. Usowski hasn't put together the best of starts, but has been cool under pressure with base runners on. He's limited the damage to just 1 run, but just too many hits given up this early on. Already given up 5 hits, the same or nearing the same amount that Owen Burchard gave up in all of last game.
Yeah, if you're Zowski, you just want to slow down. You're approaching these hitters. A lot of contact being made here by Jamestown. Zowski's done well when he's gone to the outside part of the plate against these hitters.
Pitch from Usowski, breaking ball fouled out of play again. 1-2 count. Auburn 4 runs, 4 hits. So they've been efficient at the plate. Not so much for the TarpSkunks. They have 5 hits, just 1 run. Usowski's pitch way outside for ball 2. Justin Bremner out of Canisius University. Powerful hitter. We saw it in just his first at-bat of the day. Crushed a ball into deep left field. He has that ability to do it again. someone that Usasi going to have to be very wary of if he wants to last long in this game.
Yeah, if Bremner gets a hold of one, he can hit it mile, it feels like.
That pitch comes in and it's hit high, but not far. That'll be a pop up to the second baseman Vivakwa, who finds it in midair. Obviously, the infield fly rule would have been in effect there, so just comes down with the play and gets the first out of the inning.
Felt like he hit that one a mile high instead of a mile long. Either way, Auburn will take for the first out of the inning.
Nolan Smith still on first, bringing up Jacob Haynes up to bat. One out on the board. Zhowski gonna make a pickoff attempt over to first, connecting with Albright, not there in time. Just gonna force Smith to be a bit more glued to first. Zhowski obviously is a southpaw, has that vantage point. The pitch way outside, and it's going to be a steal attempt. A late go there from Smith, but capitalized on the outside pitch. Realized that DeCesare was going to be off balance and makes it there easily in time.
Yeah, that's about the third pitch going back to the Bremner at bat as well, where that pitch was outside and kind of had the catcher DeCesare off balance. Smith realized that early, was able to get a good jump on that, made his way over to second.
And you could tell that Smith wanted to go, but if that pitch was accurate, I don't think he was going on that one. But it was just a great heat of the moment decision by Smith. One of the plays that separates good from great base runners. That one in the dirt. 3-0 count. Wachowski falls behind early. He's already nearing 50 pitches.
Yeah, time for Yuzowski to try and settle down here. Big pitch down 3-0. Try and get back into the groove of things.
And gets it in there for the first strike against the designated hitter. Jacob Haynes, big bat out of Seton Hill. And that one swung on, popped up. It's going to be into right field, and that's Brendan Smith coming away with it and keeps the base runner in Smith at second. The second out of the inning, and just a masterclass performance by the pitcher Usowski to just limit the damage done. Now that brings up Nathan Borchardt. With a runner in scoring position, Borchardt has the chance to get the Skunks back into this game. Or at least a step closer into this game as that pitch misses the strike zone for ball one.
Credit Yuzowski as he's out away from getting out of this inning. Hey, he's found himself in trouble and partially his own doing. But boy, has he gotten out of it. Would be huge to get out of it here in the third.
Just playing like a veteran as that one chopped over to Caden Albright at first, and he will get out of danger without anything bad happening. No runs given up in the third inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third as Auburn looks to extend its 4-1 lead. Stay tuned for more Auburn Doubledays baseball. It's Jason Brown on the mound for the TarpSkunks as he replaces Daniel Thomas, who had a tough first 2 innings. He gave up 4 runs in the first inning alone, and nearly gave up more in the second. Got out of the jam, but manager Frank Jagoda just decided enough was enough. He needed to get out of there. Now Jason Brown stepping in, the righty pitcher, goes a lot for this TarpSkunk squad. A very reliable arm. Another veteran as that one misses the strike zone for ball one.
Need a reliable arm here if you want to keep this game competitive and close. 4-1. Auburn seemingly has woken up offensively in this game. If you want to keep this game close through the end of the, obviously it's 7-inning game. I think going with Jason Brown here. Good call by the Jamestown TarpSkunks.
Pitch from Brown catches the strike zone for strike one. 2-1 count. Brown can hit 90 miles per hour on his fastball. It's around what he tops out at. That one chopped on by DeCesare. The play will be made. Marshall to Rodriguez for the first out of the inning. Marshall just really impressing over there at shortstop.
Brady Marshall gotten a lot of action between the first game and even this game, and you took the words out of my mouth. He has played such a great shortstop, sure-handed. Seems like he's a vacuum over there every time there's a ground ball.
Brings up Kieran Kehoe, who grounded out to the pitcher in his first time out there. Facing a new challenge in the pitcher Brown. 1-0 count. As I mentioned before, Kehoe didn't play in the first game. He's still looking for his first hit of the night. As that one, a weird chop down the right side. One ball, one strike, one out. Kieran Kehoe out of St. Joseph's University fouls that one off. Going to be a freshman there. As they ruled a fair ball, apparently. Kehoe, stunned by the ruling, just doesn't see how that's even possible. Disbelief there, and we're going to see manager Matthew Petrosi have a quick chat as he doesn't really know how that one was fair either.
I think the argument was, I think Kehoe thought that hit him in his body, but home plate umpires say no. Either way, Kehoe's in the dugout. That's quick second out for Brown.
Very quick second out. Brown looking to escape this inning with potentially less than double-digit pitches. That one in there for strike one. 90 miles per hour on the fastball that just blazed by the batter, Sam Meyer.
I feel like Brown's windup kind of similar to CC Sabathia, if I'm remembering correctly.
I like the comparison. As that one hit to the shortstop, Marshall throws it over. What a glove! What a cannon by Marshall at shortstop to get the final out of the inning. A great performance by him. May have to give a player of the game to not only a visiting player, but could be on the losing team. Marshall's just been playing that good out there in the field. We'll be back for more Auburn Doubledays action in the fourth inning. Brady Marshall, who's wowed in the field, is looking to now impress at the plate, going against the pitcher Connor Usowski. Usowski giving up a single to the leadoff batter in every inning so far, trying to break that streak. The first pitch there is a ball.
He's done that and been able to get out of trouble. So props to Usowski for that. But hey, trying to prevent any trouble from even happening in the first place.
That one hit over towards the visiting bullpen for a foul ball. You mentioned he got out of trouble a lot, but it's just truly not sustainable for a starting pitcher. You can't be consistently getting yourself into trouble. You could even have one game where it works out well, but in the long run, that's going to come back to bite you. That one in there for strike two. Beautiful breaking ball from Usowski. Just 69 miles per hour, curves right into the middle of the strike zone. The pitch is in and chopped over to Vivacqua. Vivacqua dives, gets it over to Albright for the second out of the inning.
We were raving about Brady Marshall's glove. Talk about Tyler Vivacqua right there. His glove. Great job sliding to his left side, making the play, and coming up with a very clean first out.
That brings up Dom Costello of the TarpSkunks. Costello got out to end that first inning where the Skunks were only able to put up one run. That one going to be a blooper single, gets right in front of the outfielder Hardy. Hardy managed to control it, and they'll force Costello back over to first. After that ball caromed off of Costello's chest, he made that diving play for it, bounced off of him. Costello thought he might have had a chance to make the play, get to second, but too good of a job backing up Hardy, and Costello will be stuck at first.
We could get a replay. I'd love to see a replay because there's a chance that ball might have hit Hardy's head diving in, and that's how that ball stayed in front of him. Talk about using all parts of your body, keeping everything in front of you.
Now Eric Weeks, who had a leadoff single in the second inning. That one way outside from Usowski. Didn't love that pitch from him.
So a runner does reach for the fourth consecutive inning. Obviously, this time not the leadoff guy. Already been one out. Doubledays trying to get out of here this fourth inning.
Low and in the dirt for ball two. DeCesare done a good job as the backstop for Usowski. Despite some wildness, DeCesare has kept everything in front of him. Something that can't be said for the TarpSkunks. That pitch low and in the dirt again. That's an early deficit for Usowski, who falls behind in the count 3-0. A walk puts another runner in scoring position.
Fell behind 3-0 in the count to Jacob Hayes. Eventually was able to get him to fly out to right.
And the ball curves right in there. 67 miles per hour curveball from the young pitcher. Reaches the strike zone. It looks like there might have been a red light on Weeks there. That one swung on. That's scooped up into left field. Hardy getting called off by the center fielder Meyer for the second out of the inning. Communication in the outfield there between Hardy and Meyer. Meyer calls for it, gets it as the captain of the outfield, and gets the second out of the inning.
Weeks certainly gave that ball a ride out there, and you mentioned it perfectly. Meyer doing exactly what a center fielder has. He has priority there. If he calls anybody out, they know, hey, let me back off. The center fielder's got it. Good job by Meyer making his voice heard, so him and Hardy did not have a collision deep there, deep out in left center.
Rodriguez still up to bat. He chops it over to Albright, who will outrace Rodriguez over to first for the final out of the inning. Usowski getting out of danger yet again. It looked rough, but it was just one out on the board, a runner on first, and a 3-0 count. Usowski gets out of danger with ease. We'll be back here in the fourth, or in the bottom of the fourth, for more Auburn Doubledays baseball. Kicking things off for the Auburn Doubledays here at Falcon Park. We're in the fourth inning, and it's Brendan Smith up to bat, who singled in his first go around. This time, though, going against new pitcher Jason Brown, who did good things in his last time up. Put down the Doubledays 1-2-3 with 3 consecutive ground outs. First pitch from Brown comes in and gets past the catcher. That's Lindquist not able to keep the ball in front of him. Doesn't matter as there are no runners on base, obviously. Took Brown just 9 pitches to go through those first 3 batters. That one fouled off to the right side.
Yeah, Brown with an efficient inning back in the third. Something that was a first here for Jamestown in this game, as they had some trouble in the first and second inning, but Brown came in, really shut things down there in the third.
Brown originally from North Carolina forces the maybe another ground out there, but some legs, and gets there in time. Another great throw there over to first base, and a stretch from the first baseman Rodriguez. Joaquin Rodriguez just barely stretches out to nab the base runner in Smith, but a great hustle play by Smith. We saw him leg out an infield single in his first go around, was almost able to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, Smith made that a very tough play at first. Again, hey, Brady Marshall, we've talked about him throughout this broadcast. Just a superb shortstop he's playing.
6-3 put out there as we see Brown call for a new ball. Potentially some lingering effects from the wetness of the first game.
Luckily, the rain has passed us by here in Auburn.
If any of you fans are just tuning in for this game, there was a rain delay in the first contest. You can go catch that game on the YouTube channel. All replays are available there. Obviously, the live stream's going too. Maybe you're listening to this in the future and you're hearing us talk about it, but live stream going. We always urge you to tune in live, like, subscribe, do that thing. That one in there for strike 2.
Hey, I'll just say, if you're a Doubledays fan and you didn't catch the first game and you're thinking about rewatching it, I'm not going to give a spoiler, but I will say you might be happy with the result. I'll just say that.
Comes in and misses the plate. 2-2 count. Still a 4-1 ball game as we approach the end of the 4th inning. Caden Albright up to bat. He grounded out in his first go around. And a big swing and a miss there. The first strikeout of the game for Jason Brown. So the Doubledays haven't been able to hit this new pitcher, who has forced 4 batters to ground out, struck out 1, now going against Mike Bonfiglio, one of the players of the game in the first contest, now looking to do some damage against the infallible Jason Brown. That pitch misses the zone for strike 1.
You talked about Brown being a reliable arm, and boy, has he been so far in his inning and 2/3 of relief, looking to complete 2 innings. Exactly what Jamestown needed to stop the bleeding from the Doubledays.
Luckily for the Auburn Doubledays, they did plenty of damage early on against starting pitcher Daniel Thomas. Gave up 4 runs in the first. Just an absolute surge from the Doubledays, who didn't even get that many hits. It was a lot of costly mistakes by the TarpSkunks. The Doubledays have mostly avoided today. There's that one chopped down to the third baseman. The throw over to first, way wild. That's a wild throw from Weeks over to Rodriguez. Does not hit the mark. Rodriguez gets it in. Even still, the catcher hasn't thrown it in. It's Lindquist making the run all the way out there. He was supposed to be backing up Rodriguez. Couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, I think Weeks could have taken a little bit more time. Obviously, it was going to be a close play, but Bonfiglio isn't the fastest runner in the lineup for the Doubledays, so I think he could have taken a half second even to just center his target, threw that ball errant, Just like that, runner on second in scoring position for Bobby Hardy.
For the Doubledays pitchers between both Burchard and Connor Usowski, it's been, despite some hits given up at times, they've had great supporting fielding behind them. Can't say the same for Jason Brown here because he's put together a great outing so far in this game, yet just costly mistakes by his fielders. There's a runner at scoring position now. We could be looking at an unearned run given up by Brown if there's a base hit. Bobby Hardy up to bat, being a bit too patient, looks at 2 strikes, falls behind in the count early.
Brown doing his best, trying to make sure that doesn't happen. 2 quick strikes, 2 good pitches. Now Bobby Hardy is going to have to try and play spoiler.
As a steal attempt, and just catch. Oh, sorry, there was a strikeout on the play. The steal attempt meant nothing, probably would have gotten thrown out anyways, but that'll bring the Doubledays into the 5th inning with their 4-1 lead still intact, but haven't been able to tack on anything since the new return of pitcher Jason Brown. We'll be back with more Auburn Doubledays here in just a moment.
Back at Falcon Park here. I'm Luke Backman, broadcast partner Ryan Story here for the top of the 5th inning. Auburn has a nice 4-1 lead. All scoring back happened in the 1st inning. Branston Lindquist up to the plate facing Connor Uzowski on for his 5th inning of work. First pitch is going to be low and inside for ball number 1. Uzowski readies the 1-0. That's hit right back up the middle into center field for another leadoff single here in the 5th inning.
Just hasn't been strong starts to innings from Usowski. He's done a good job of getting out of the trouble, but when is it going to happen? When it just boils over to a point where eventually Jamestown puts together a run that the Doubledays can't come back from.
Yeah, 4 of the 5 innings have started with a leadoff single for the TarpSkunks. So that ball is going to be in the dirt. Good block by DeCesare. Keep that ball in front of him as Brady McGuire is at the plate. Uzowski, for as much as we're talking about the leadoff singles, he's been able to work his way out. But again, Ryan said this earlier in the broadcast, not always sustainable. So here in the 5th, will he be able to work it out, or will it be trouble for Auburn? 1-0 pitch outside, count now 2-0. I see some movement in the bullpen for Auburn. So it looks like it's still preliminary movement. So Uzowski has a few hitters left in this ball game. 2-0 pitch just outside, count now 3-0 quickly. Funny, Uzowski, he's gotten into 2 3-0 counts the past 2 innings as well, been able to work out of it. Let's see, 3-0, that's not going to be able to work out of it. Ball 4 straight pitches for a walk, bringing the tying run to the plate just like that.
And we'll have a visit from manager Matthew Petrosi. Could be seeing a pitching change here.
Slow walk to the mound The infield will gather, looking to see whether or not he goes to the bullpen or not. Again, it looks like reliever that is up, still trying to get a number. Just started to throw, so Petrosi walking up to the mound. Let's see if he'll ask for the ball. Oh, he's going to talk to Uzowski right now. As Nolan Smith is coming to the plate, and a good talk at the mound because Nolan Smith 2 for 2 with 2 singles in this ball game. He's been an issue for Uzowski. Good job, good talk at the mound. Slow everything down. Troshi's going to walk back. Uzowski's going to stay on the mound here, as they talked about how they're going to approach Nolan Smith. Auburn leads 4-1. Jamestown leads in the hit department 7-4. They also have 1 error to none. Looking at Auburn. Uzowski readies. He's got Nolan Smith in the box. First pitch from Uzowski, low for ball 1. It's 5 consecutive balls thrown by Uzowski here. You can imagine if Smith gets aboard, this would probably be Uzowski's last batter of the night, but he finds a way to get him out. Probably see more of that one right down the middle. Taking all the way with Smith for a called strike count, now 1-1. Bonfiglio playing in, anticipating trying to take a bunt away. That one's to Cesare. Great job keeping that ball in front of him. Over there at second, Lindquist had a big lead, ready to jump on any pass ball or ball to the side. De Cesare kept that ball close enough where Lindquist had to hurry his way back to second.
You mentioned the concern about a bunt here. I would be shocked if the TarpSkunks opt to have Smith go for a bunt. He's already had 2 singles this game. Might as well keep letting him be a consistent hitter. That one in there for strike 2.
Totally agree, as now the bunt will be called off. Again, he never showed bunt, but Bonfiglio was playing in case of a bunt smartly. That pitch was in there for a strike, so it's now 2-2. No chance of a bunt. Bonfiglio backs up a step. Pitch in the air to left field. Coming in originally was Hardy. Now he's going to retreat, get that ball, fire it in for a very big out number 1 here.
Good job from Uzowski to keep fighting through the adversity, not giving in at all, not relinquishing a foot. Just continues to keep battling, not letting in any runs.
As Justin Bremner comes to the plate. He had an RBI single back in the first inning. That's why Jamestown is on the board with a run. Since then, popped out to second base in his only other plate appearance back in the 3rd inning. Comes to the box here with runners on first and second. First pitch from Uzowski, outside, ball 1.
Not only has Uzowski done a good job of getting out of jams, but he's done a good job of getting out of batters' counts where it's been 3-0, 2-0, 3-1, and he's done a good job getting out of it.
Pitch drilled to left field down the line. Hardy's looking up, and that ball's over the wall. A 3-run home run from Justin Bremner to tie this ball game. If you were watching game 1, we talked about the fly ball he had in his first at bat. It went all the way to the warning track. That time got a hold of one, delivered a home run over the left field wall, the tall left field wall, to tie this ball game at 4 apiece.
And we talked about it early on. Bremner has the power to hit one deep. He finally scooped that one and with enough power to get over the wall. That's the first homer we've seen here at Falcon Park this season.
That homer is going to bring the end of the night for Connor Uzowski, who before that home run, he was having himself a very good performance, but with that, it's going to tie the game. He's going to get a nice ovation from the crowd, bringing in a new pitcher. We'll tell you more about who's coming in relief after this quick, brief intermission. Ryan Paganellis comes into the ball game. 4-4 ball game after a 3-run home run. Justin Bremner tie this game. Paganellis comes in. First pitch swinging strike against Jacob Haynes. But an infield single back in the first.
Brusowski had been doing so good at getting out of trouble, but it got to a point where you knew the dam was going to burst eventually. That one thrown off of the butt of Haynes.
Haynes hit by a pitch right there. He's going to take first base. Nathan Borchardt comes to the plate.
On a very auspicious start from Paganellis, hitting a batter in his first go-around.
Paganellis, he's pitched twice this season. This will be his third appearance. Pitching 2 1/3 inning of relief. Giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, only both of them being earned, 1 strikeout so far this season. First pitch, the board chart is going to be high for ball number 1. Pitch on the ground, over to second. Bobbled. Play is not going to be made by Tyler Vivacqua, who had to battle with the runner who was stealing second, and Haynes really got in his way, in his paths, right as the ball was coming to him. Good base running from Jacob Haynes, but an error by Tyler Vivacqua. Even if that wasn't going to be a double play, that looked to be an out, but misplayed off the glove of Vivacqua. Everybody safe, first and second.
Yeah, just looks like he wanted the double play, even though it was unrealistic that he would have a shot to actually get it. And just thinking too far ahead, sometimes you have to just make the simple play, focus on just getting the ball, securing it. He didn't do that there.
First pitch to Brady Marshall is a ball, count 1-0. Auburn went from feeling good about this game, now in a tie game. Strike in there to even the count at 1-1. To a degree similar to how the game in the first game went. Obviously, it was a 1-0 game that Jamestown was leading, but was leading for a while. Then Auburn had a big inning, big 3-run inning here for Jamestown. They're looking for more. Auburn's trying to keep this game tied. Pitch is not going to be checked up in time by Brady Marshall. He definitely went around that swinging strike, count now 1-2.
Brady Marshall 0 for 2 on the night so far, or in this game at least.
Pitch, little dribbler over to second. Let's see Vivacqua. He goes to short for 1. Not in time at first for 2. That was going to be tough with Brady Marshall running. He's going to reach on a fielder's choice. So now there's runners at the corners for Dom Costello, who had a single back just last inning in the 4th.
There was a good play from Vivacqua there. I mean, you look at it, wasn't able to get there in time on the connection with Sullivan to over at first base Albright, but Vivacqua did exactly what was needed out of him.
Runner on the move. Oh, coming home. Oh, wow. He's out at second base. What a huge play and a huge throw from Anthony Cesare. Originally, Adam Sullivan got up looking like he was going home because the runner was coming home. And the second play, or the field umpire said it doesn't even matter. He's out at second. What a huge third out in this 5th inning. Doubledays come to bat now in a 4-4 tie ball game. Back here in Auburn, New York, we have a tie ball game. Jamestown 4, Auburn 4. Auburn comes to the plate with the top of their order. Tyler Vavakwa leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Remember, this is a doubleheader, so it's only scheduled for 7. See if Auburn can grab a lead before that. First pitch to Vavakwa is high for ball number 1. Jason Brown continues to be on the mound. He has shut down this Auburn team. Held them hitless over his last 2 innings of relief. On for his 3rd inning. 1-0 pitch to Vavakwa is going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1.
Bit off topic, but I love Vavakwa's silver bat. A bit of uniqueness. And most players just have the standard black or brown.
You know, I was thinking about that earlier in his last at bat. I was like, is he using a metal bat? It kind of shines like a metal bat. Obviously, all wooden bats here. Pitch outside for ball number 2. I like that when a player can show his personality. We talked about Kieran Kehoe's his cleats in a past game, the Jordan cleats. Anything to add some accessories, show your personality. I'm all for it.
All for it.
2-1 pitch, swung on a miss from Vavakwa. Count now 2-2.
Let's see if he can get that silver bat on a ball here in this game.
Vavakwa, he's reached twice so far in this ball game. A walk in the first inning and a single in the second is the 2-2 pitch from Brown. It's going to be fouled out of play. Count remains 2-2.
Brown nearing 30 pitches as he's into his 3rd inning of work.
You see some light tossing in the bullpen of the TarpSkunks. Nothing too serious as of now. You got to think the manager thinking Brown can get through his 3rd inning of work. Is the 2-2 pitch going to be fouled off? Do it over again.
A solid mix in that bullpen. You see some baseballs being thrown, also a football being tossed around. So never know. Maybe they're gonna leave here, go try to throw a football around for, like, I don't know, Giants practice squad, Bills practice squad. Who knows?
Yeah, who's the Giants quarterback? Is it, I mean, it's Russell Wilson, right?
Got Russell Wilson, also famous Jameis. Jackson
Dart.
We got
Can't
some
go
options.
wrong. And Jackson Dart. There we go. 2-2 pitch outside. Count now full. 3-2.
Classic Jameis Winston fashion to be talking about the New York Giants, completely off topic, in a Auburn Doubledays baseball game.
You know, only way I think Jameis Winston would want it, as he says, Doubledays are trying to eat the W here in the second of the doubleheader. Fouled off again. Tyler Vavakwa staying alive. He's about to see his 9th pitch of this at-bat.
That pitch 88 miles per hour from Brown, who's just trying to blaze it past Vavakwa. We'll see if he goes back to that same strategy.
3-2 payoff pitch here from Brown to Vavakwa. Is going to catch the outside part of the plate. Vavakwa looks at the home plate umpire and says, "You got to be kidding me. That was not a strike." Goes down looking for the first out. Vavakwa also tossed his bat ready to go down to first with a walk. Home plate umpire said, nope, that was strike number 3. So that's going to bring up Adam Sullivan, the shortstop here, who reached because of a hit by pitch in the first inning. Excuse me, as Tommy Kerwin's actually going to be the pinch hitter this game for Adam Sullivan. Tommy Kerwin swings and misses on the first pitch.
Kerwin was batting in this exact spot for the Doubledays in their first game, now replacing Sullivan.
Quickly behind in the count now to Brown, 0-2. Brown deals the 0-2. That's going to be low and outside. For ball number 1 in the at-bat. Auburn just trying to find some way to get to Brown. Have not been able to. The only runner that has reached was because of an error. That was Mike Bonfiglio back last inning. That one's up the middle over. Brady Marshall collects it, fires over in time, barely, to get Tommy Kerwin.
Who else but Marshall?
Bang, bang play as the shortstop for the TarpSkunks. Again, it seems like he's a vacuum and spitting out fastballs over to first base to beat out runners by half a step, as that's quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Parker Schwake is up to the plate.
The Doubledays just haven't been able to put together runs or surges of any kind against this new pitcher in Jason Brown. They could use a home run of their own because they certainly can't do the work themselves.
Wake looks at a strike on the outside part of the plate. Count is 1-0 as Brown delivers. Hit over, finds a hole on the right side of the infield. Schwake is aboard here with 2 outs. Good job by Schwake, just going the opposite way, not trying to do too much. Finding a hole out to the right field as Anthony DeCesare comes to the plate. He had an RBI single himself back in the first inning. And a 6-3 ground out in the third. Trying to find a way to put a 2-out rally, as that's the first hit against Brown in this ball game. Is 2 2/3 innings of relief. First pitch fouled straight back for strike number 1.
Schwake now 2 for 3 on the ball game. DeCesare looking to be 2 for 3 after this at bat.
Interesting enough, both guys RBI single in the first, and then both guys grounded out to Brady Marshall in their next at bats. Anthony DeCesare wouldn't mind, sharing a same stat line, having a single here. As you mentioned, both be 2 for 3. Pitch on the outside part of the plate quickly, count 0-2 to DeCesare.
Whenever Brown's pressured, he goes back to that fastball right down the gut, generally on the outer part of the plate, but pretty consistent player, doesn't change things up too much when he gets in an uncomfortable spot.
88 miles per hour was the last pitch, is the 0-2. Going to be hit right back to the pitcher Brown. He's going to charge over to first underhand, flip it in time to get Anthony DeCesare to end the 5th inning. That might be Brown's last batter in case they go to the bullpen. If it is, what a successful relief appearance. Hey, maybe we'll see him, maybe we won't. Either way, it's a tied game going to the top of the 6th, 4-4. We'll be back with more ball here at Falcon Park. Ryan Paganellis back on the mound here this ball game, as Dom Costello is going to lead off.
The Bluebirds were out for the umpires at the end of the last inning. The fans not too pleased with the calls made in the field.
Pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. Yeah, there's been a few, whether you think about the foul ball earlier, the bang play there at first base. Fans, letting the umps know, hey, not the biggest fan of the calls. That one gets away from Cesare and back to the backstop. High pitch, either way, just ball number 2 in the count, 2-0. Dom Costello's back to bat because he was up to the plate last inning, but Brady Marshall was caught stealing. Huge throw from DeCesare because safe. Runner's probably going to come home from third to score. Foul ball clubbed over near the clubhouse for the Doubledays, and might be over On a bounce by a car. Someone might have a souvenir. Hopefully a good souvenir, not one in a windshield.
Better not be my car.
Pitch gonna find its way to the outfield through the 6-hole. On base is Dom Costello with a lead-off single. Another lead-off single. 5 of the 6th innings we have played so far for Jamestown. They have led it off with a single.
Just not sustainable at all. We talked about it for Usowski. We'll talk about it again with Paganellis. It was a great job by him to get out of last inning, but getting out of trouble means that you got yourself in trouble, and you can only get yourself in trouble so many times before something bad happens.
First pitch here to Eric Weeks is going to be high for ball 1. Weeks had a single in the 2nd inning and a stolen base right after to follow, and then flew out to center field back in the 4th. Comes to the plate for the first time against Paganellis. On the move, throw down, not in time, going to be put in the air. Dom Costello has a stolen base. That pitch was going to be a strike, so it is 1-1 count. If it was a strike. See what the umpire has to say after this next pitch, but either way, Costello made his way over to second. Runner on second, scoring position. Pitch hit the helmet. Wow. Eric Weeks takes that like a champ. You could hear the ball to the helmet from up here in the press box. As we're going to see a pinch hitter in this ball game. I still can't believe Weeks just walked down to first like that. As Matthew Dumas, he was playing center field in the last game. He's going to come in and pinch hit for Joaquin Rodriguez-Co. See if Dumas plays first base or they move him around defensively. But right now he's batting in the 9 spot. Big position in this ball game. He's going to show bunt. Pitch high. No bunt is going to be laid. Going to pull it back. Ball 1.
Big shift for the Doubledays on the right side. They've got Caden Albright moved up pretty heavily, and they've got the second baseman in Vivacqua shifting over also pretty heavily to back up Albright.
Bunt is laid, and they're going to try and let this one roll foul. It's going to roll foul. Oh, that would have been a beauty if it was about 4 inches to the right from Dumas. Strike number 1.
A good heads-up play by the catcher de Cesare. Let it roll foul, and before giving it a chance to maybe take a weird hop, bounce back fair, you just snagged that ball and secured the play.
Dumas reached last game, the first game of the doubleheader, via an air. Hit the ball over to shortstop. Air struck out in his only other attempt. Bunt attempt still down. Can't get it down. Hey, if you could get these bunts fair, these would be beauties. Just foul again. Now the question is, I think he can lay down a very solid bunt. Do you have him do it with 2 strikes here? It seems like they pinch hit him because they want him to lay down a bunt. Obviously 2 strikes, foul ball on a bunt attempt, strikeout. Okay, he's going to show the bunt. Let's see if he... Oh, no, he pulls back. Fastball inside brings Dumas off the plate. To the delight of the crowd here. They weren't a fan of the 2-strike bunt attempt or bunt fake out. It's Dumas. Readies. He's not showing bunt here. Dumas is swinging as he's... Oh! That one just outside. Crowd reacting. You talked about it. Not happy with the umps earlier. Certainly not happy with that call.
That was certainly an interesting call. I'll say that. It looked like it was down the middle. It even looked like Dumas thought that he had struck out, but Dumas will hang back in there trying to get out of this one.
Full count. That one's in there for strike 3. A sarcastic cheer from the crowd towards the ump and a real cheer towards Ryan Paganellis. Big strikeout looking for the first out of the inning.
Great job by Paganellis to not get rattled by the pseudo ball that probably should have been a strike. Instead, he just stays in there and rings them up with ease.
Branston Lindquist comes to the plate. He had a single just last inning. 1 for 2. First pitch hit in the air, down and out of play, foul. Two young fans running up. One has it. Brought his glove to the game, so he's got a nice souvenir, or he can go trade it in for a Hershey Pop. Decisions. 4-4 ball game. Runners on first and second. Pitch fouled off again. Count quickly 0-2 here. We got Dom Costello on second. He led the inning off with a single and then a stolen base. Eric Weeks was hitting the helmet, walked it off like a boss. Then Matthew Dumas came in, struck out looking. Now we got Branston Lindquist down in count 0-2. Paganellis trying to find his way out. Pitch fouled off. Very similar spot. Do it over again. Count remains 0-2.
Great display by the ball boys, refueling the umpire with more much-needed balls.
Just between Lindquist, this at-bat, you're going to have to keep bringing balls to the umpire with all 3 straight foul balls. Paganellis trying to put Lindquist down here on strikes. Ahead in the count, 0-2. Pitch inside and hit him.
Crucial mistake there. Crowd not happy. Paganellis not happy with himself. Just can't have that in an 0-2 count.
Yeah, 0-2 after getting a strikeout in the prior at-bat. That's a tough break for Paganellis. Didn't hit him by much, but enough inside. I believe the home plate umpire gave a warning, maybe to the TarpSkunks bench. Either way, back on the field, it's a 4-4 ball game with the bases loaded. Top of the order, Brady McGuire up to bat, only 1 out. First pitch just misses McGuire. He didn't get out of it too much, but that ball just missed, hitting him for ball number 1. 1-0 count.
Ooh. Really toying with danger. And you can see the TarpSkunks dugout getting a little riled up. Even just an accidental slip pitch that hits McGuire here could potentially lead to some words exchanged out of the dugout.
Matching energy with what the crowd was doing earlier in the inning. 2-0 in there for strike number 1. Now it's the crowd's turn here at Falcon Park to start cheering. Still got a while to go trying to get out of this inning. Ground ball could do wonders for Paganellis in the Doubledays. 2-1 pitch. Hit on the ground, over to shortstop, to second. There's one, over to first. Not in time. It gets past the first baseman. That's going to bring another runner home. As Jamestown plates 2 there on what could have been an ending double play. As now it's a 6-4 ball game. Throwing air.
We talk about it all the time. Unforced errors, stupid, lazy mistakes. That's what that was. Just, you can't have that.
First pitch, a strike to Nolan Smith. And granted, it would have been a very tough play, even with a clean throw, to first. But if you're Auburn, you got to try and make that play. You have to try and give your first baseman a chance. Get out of this inning. Leave it up to the ump right there. Tough play as Brady McGuire, quick runner, beating down the base path, but missed opportunity for Auburn to get out of a jam. Now they're down 6-4. Pitch low for ball number 2. Auburn cruising along after a 4-1 first inning. Had thrown zeros on the board, and also their offense had gone quiet with zeros of their own. Now the last 2 innings, 2 runs given up this inning, 3 in the last inning. Runner on the move. McGuire throw down. Not in time. McGuire has himself a stolen base.
It seems like this has come out of nowhere, but in reality, it's just been building up to this moment. The pressure's been building up. It finally burst as we saw too many lucky chances where the Doubledays just got out of danger.
Pitch head out to left center field. That one's going to drop, scoring a run easily. Heading to second is Nolan Smith. He's there with a stand-up double, extending the lead now to 7-3. 3 runs in back-to-back innings for these Jamestown TarpSkunks.
You can get lucky playing against the book so many times, but eventually it's going to come back to really be a pain.
And you mentioned, I was going to say right before that pitch was hit, I mean, the amount of times you said it's not sustainable what Auburn was doing, especially with the leadoff singles. They walked themselves into trouble. Here in the 5th and 6th inning, they have not been able to walk themselves out of trouble. Matt Petrosi is going to go to the mound here, talk with Ryan Paganellis, and see if he's going to take the ball from him. 2 outs here in this inning.
Just hasn't been able to escape the trouble that he's put himself in.
And they're going to go to the bullpen. That will be the end of the night for Ryan Paganellis. We'll be back with more info about the new pitcher here for Auburn right after this. Making his double days debut, Aiden Zur, number 22. He'll be a freshman incoming at Notre Dame. He is on the mound here. The Doubledays in a 7-4 ball game. 2 outs here. Runner on second base in the top of the 6th, taking on Justin Bremner, who his first pitch swinging right field. That's going to be Smith. Brendan Smith making the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Zur. Efficient way to start your Doubledays career. But Jamestown puts up 3 here in the top of the 6th to take a 7-4 lead. Let's see if the Doubledays can start a rally of their own. We'll be back here at Falcon Park with more baseball. Aaron Kehoe leading off, excuse me, for Doubledays in the bottom of the 6th inning, down 7-4. Thrown up against Jason Brown, who has shut them down. First pitch swinging over to third. Eric Weeks' throw to first will be in time. Get Kehoe.
Game came back in the bottom of the first. They were holding on to that lead until the 5th, where they let it get tied up. Now they're trailing by 3 runs, their largest deficit of the afternoon. Interesting to see how they stack up against this seems like reformed TarpSkunk squad.
Yeah, Jason Brown is to this game and just stabilized everything. Looked like it was teetering on maybe the Doubledays. Game wide open. Jason Brown came in. A stop to all of that thinking quickly. Now this count is 1 to Sam Meyer. Ball, second pitch was fouled off. Meyer, 2 grounders, groundouts, shortstop, and Brady keeping his praises because excellent short. TarpSkunks inside for ball number 2. Auburn, they got to get something started. Down to their last 5 outs is the second game of the doubleheader. A 7-inning ball game. Pitch skied a mile high. Third baseman Weeks and shortstop Marshall going at it, but it's going to be Weeks coming in over to his left for the catch in the second out of the inning. Quick pop-up for Sam Meyer. Brendan Smith comes to the plate now.
It's insane how precise Brown has been with his pitches. Over his 46 throws this game, 33 of them have been strikes. It's over 70% of his hurls that have been strike plays.
First pitch here to Brendan Smith in there for strike. There's another strike. And I'm looking down at the bullpen because there was some sort of activity last inning. No activity now. It looks like this is Brown's game to finish if he's able to continue to pitch the way he has been. Second pitch inside. Count now even 1-1. Auburn down to their last 4 outs now. Smith trying to get aboard. Start a 2-out rally. 1-1 pitch down. Gets past catcher Lindquist for ball number 2. Crowd here. Good amount of people stuck around after the first game of the doubleheader. Second pitch, excuse me, that was not the second pitch. It's going to be the second strike because of a foul ball. Count now 2-2. Looking for something to cheer for at the moment. Doubledays bats have gone absolutely silent after a very well put together first inning. Pitch inside, count now full, 3-2.
The crowd has the right to reflect how the bats have gone. If the Doubledays aren't going to show up, why should the fans? It seems like because they the Doubledays just haven't put anything together since the first. But maybe the fans can inspire a comeback attempt.
Payoff pitch outside for ball 4. Maybe that can start something here with 2 outs as Brendan Smith takes first base. Caden Albright comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to short in the first and struck out in the fourth. Trying to get on for his first time here. Game number 2. Help Auburn put together a rally as Brown on the mound. Finds a sign he likes, steals, pitch upstairs and high for ball number 1.
Sky's starting to darken as we near 8:50 Eastern time.
We're moving along quickly. And a rain delay. And Jamestown putting together some long innings. It's slowed the pace down here. Pitch upstairs and high for ball number 2.
However, don't worry for the fans at home. We love hanging out with you guys. We love getting to talk at you.
There's nothing better than talking baseball, you know. A lot worse things that could be happening. Right now we could, you know, fun, always a great and fun time to be here at the ballpark, because there's going to be a quick pitchers meeting. Originally it was just the catcher Lindquist going out there, and now manager going out there to talk. Jason Brown, he's got a smile on his face, so like they're cracking some sort of jokes.
No matter what the decision is, Brown's already put together an amazing game, more than anyone on Jamestown could have hoped for. He's going to look to stay in this contest.
Yeah, I can only imagine the competitor in him is like, hey, not only do I want to get out of this inning, bring me out for the 7th inning as well. Because he'll get his first wish of staying in this ball game. Caden Albright back in the batter's box, ahead in the count 2-0. As Brown looks over at first, he's not worried about the runner too much. Deals. Pitch inside for ball 3.
Albright needs to stay patient. Brown can probably make this a strike, but you can't get greedy. You can't be chasing pitches in a 3-0 count.
3-0 pitch outside, ball number 4. Crowd here getting a little into it now.
They've been exactly mirroring the Doubledays bats today.
With that walk, that brings Mike Bonfiglio to the plate. Bonfiglio now represents the tying run in this ball game. We already saw 1 3-run home run. Hey, can we see another? Bonfiglio readies. Brown deals. Pitch inside. Brown having a very difficult time finding the strike zone. 7 consecutive strikes dating back all the way to the Brendan Smith at bat. Crowd cheering these Doubledays on. 1-0 pitch from Brown. Fouled. Count now 1-1.
Bonfiglio 0 for 2 in this game, a ground out and an error. Trying to get his first hit after having 2 in the first game.
1-1. Low, ball 2.
Bobby Hardy on deck, and a walk here would make that at-bat the biggest of the game so far.
Is some light throwing in the bullpen, but it still looks like this is Brown's jam to get out of. 2-1 pitch here to Bonfiglio. High for ball number 3. Count now 3-1. Hitters count for Bonfiglio. You got to think, hey, if he sees a pitch that he likes, he's going to take himself a huge cut at it. Maybe try and tie this ball game with a swing. The 3-1 pitch. They're going to say he did not go, making it ball number 4. 3 consecutive walks for the Doubledays. And they have bases loaded here in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs.
And now the warm-ups are going to start a little bit heavier over in the bullpen, but still not that much action. That's going to be manager Frank Jagoda having full confidence in Brown to get out of the mess he's created.
Bobby Hardy to the plate. First pitch in there for a strike. And one thing, with now the bases loaded, no one can go anywhere. Jason Brown goes back to the windup. He was using a slide step earlier to prevent any stolen bases. Pitch outside. Count now 1-1. Maybe we'll see if that brings him back, calms him down. We'll see. Count 1-1. Went to the fastball outside. Going to step off the mound right here and recollect his thoughts. Hardy readies. 1-1 pitch. Hit in the air. Trailing foul and getting out of play. Count now 1-2. Huge pitch and huge at-bat in this ball game. Go ahead run at the plate. The tying run over at first base for Auburn. Down to their last 4 outs in this ball game. Brown readies. Deals the 1-2. Pitch. Chopper to first, foul. Hardy stays alive.
Already lucky that was foul. Could have easily drifted a few feet to the left and would have ended the inning. Hardy just keeps battling, keeps looking to capitalize on this opportunity that he's come into. The Doubledays absolutely need this here. Can't afford to try to replicate this type of chance in the 7th inning.
Yeah, you don't know if you can get another opportunity like this, especially with just a half inning left. Pitch outside, count now even, 2-2.
When in doubt, Brown always goes back to that fastball. He does have an extra pitch he can use up if he wants to.
Hardy in the box, Brown on the mound. Brown readies and deals. Pitch fouled off again. Great at-bat here by Hardy.
Fouled off 3 separate pitches, nearing the 7th pitch of the at-bat.
Brown still has a ball to deal with, so I wonder if he'll try and get Hardy to chase. Hardy's been doing a good job of protecting the plate, so we'll see. Choking up on the bat with 2 strikes, Hardy is. Brown gets ready and deals the 2-2. That one's a broken bat over to third. Weeks to first is going to be not in time and squirts away from the first baseman. 2 runs are scoring. We're going to wave the runner to tie the game. Yes! Doubledays tie the game over to third. It's going to get Hardy, but either way, not before the Doubledays tie the game at 7. An error on the throw from Weeks allows 3 runners to score. Bases clearing. What a game we have here in Auburn. It's tied.
Just an absolute game changer there. Completely changes the trajectory of what we thought this end was going to be.
We're going to be right back after this. 7-7 heading into the 7th here at Falcon Park. Aiden Zur back on the mound. What a game we have had. Quickly, I want to talk about how that last inning ended. Bobby Hardy, as that one's, maybe this game isn't going to allow me to. As Jacob Haynes goes the other way for a single to start this inning. At 6 of the 7 innings of this ball game, we have seen a leadoff single for the TarpSkunks. Pitch over to first, just going to go and get the force at first. Be Caden Albright knew it was going to be tough to try and turn 2 right there. So there is a runner on second as Borchardt grounded out to first right there. Brady Marshall comes to the plate, the shortstop, who's played excellent in the field. Aiden Zur came in last inning and got out of a jam on just one pitch, a fly out to right field. First pitch to Brady Marshall's there on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Zur bends in on the outside part for strike number 2. Going off speed on both of those pitches. 77 miles per hour was that last pitch. 0-2 pitch, high for ball number 1. So whatever happens here in the top half of the inning, if the Doubledays want to win this ball game, they're going to have to do it in walk-off fashion. Of course, a tie could be in play, but a win for the Doubledays would mean walk-off fashion, and that's a strikeout of Brady Marshall from Adam Zur. As now there's 2 outs after that lead-off single given up. As Dom Costello comes to the plate. Costello, he's had a nice game. 2 for 3 with 2 singles. First pitch outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Tyler Vivacqua shading over towards second, trying to keep the runner close. Pitch hit in the air out to left field. If it's down, it's going to score a run. It's down, but foul. Now quickly count 0-2. 0-2, 2 outs, runner on second, 7-7 ball game here. What a treat this game has been. Back and forth affair. 3 runs put up both in the 6th by both Jamestown and Auburn. Swung on and missed for strike number 3 as Aiden Zur battles around a lead-off single. Now we go to the bottom of the 7th. Auburn has a chance to walk it off in front of this home crowd at Falcon Park. TarpSkunks 0, Doubledays 0. Auburn coming to bat. Luke Backman, Ryan Story here in Auburn, New York. What a game we have seen. Here we go, bottom of the 7th. The Auburn Doubledays with a chance to win it in walk-off fashion. They're going to have the top of the order up. And again, if you're saying, hey, it's only the 7th inning, second game of a double header if you haven't been tuned in. So the game is only scheduled for 7 innings. They're going to go up against a new pitcher, Brady Burdine, on the mound for the TarpSkunks. Tyler Vavakwa, the leadoff hitter, not only in this inning, but in the lineup, comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a walk. Trying to start something here in the bottom of the 7th.
Burdine, a freshman out of Gannon University, originally from Pennsylvania. Big stage to be put on as a freshman. We'll see if he can step up to the plate.
First pitch to Vavakwa was in there for a strike. Burdine's 0-1 is going to fall in there as well quickly. Count 0-2 to Tyler Vavakwa.
Vavakwa already has voiced his displeasure with some of the umpires' calls earlier in this game. He takes a step out to recalibrate his thoughts.
Back in the 5th inning, struck out looking, wasn't happy with it. Pitch hit in the air out to left center field. There in time, the left fielder, Remner, is the defensive situations, substitutions moving around. Remner takes over in left field. That was the case last inning. Makes the play for the first out. Tommy Kerwin, who pinch hit for Adam Sullivan back in the 5th inning, is at the plate.
Doubledays certainly could use Sullivan now, but Kerwin's a pretty good second option to have.
Yeah, if you're saying the substitution for Adam Sullivan, it's Tommy Kerwin. That's a pretty solid substitution. Pretty solid guy on the bench in this game to have, as Kerwin up in a big moment. He's going to show bunt. He's going to put it down. Little dribbler back to Burdine. Over to first. No! He's going to get past the first baseman. Kerwin's going to second. First baseman is going to go, and the throw is going to not be in time. Gets broken up on the slide of Kerwin, and Kerwin's in scoring position here in the bottom of the 7th.
The throws over to first base have not boded well for the TarpSkunks today. It's how the Doubledays got back in this game, and it could be how the Doubledays win it.
Now a runner on second. And Tommy Kerwin, a fast runner. A ball to the outfield. You have to think Kerwin is coming around to score. Oh, they're going to intentionally walk Parker Schwake here, bringing up Anthony DeCesare in this ball game.
So we saw the first home run of the season at Falcon Park earlier this game. That's the first intentional walk of the season that we've seen at Falcon Park.
Setting the scene, runners on first and second, bottom of the 7th, tie ball game. First pitch to Anthony DeCesare is low for ball number 1. Count is 1-0. Runner scores, a.k.a. Tommy Kerwin from second. This game is over, and the Doubledays walk it off. DeCesare gets a pitch from Burdine. Oh, big cut there, fouled off. Count now 0-2. Oh, 1-1, excuse me.
DeCesare chasing that one out of the zone, still managed to catch a piece of it.
Again, if DeCesare can find the way to put this ball into the outfield, that would give Kerwin a chance to score. That pitch behind and hits DeCesare in the back. Burdine completely lost that ball, loading the bases now.
Doubledays' next 2 batters, though, Kieran Kehoe and Sam Meyer, both 0 for 3 on the day. One of them is going to need to step up for the Doubledays to do something here.
Now, with a runner on third base, bases loaded, a deep fly ball or even a medium fly ball, you got to think Kerwin's tagging. First pitch to Kehoe high for ball number 1.
Kehoe can afford to be patient, a walk, or maybe even another hit by pitch, or a passed ball, all win the game for the Doubledays.
Between this doubleheader, we've seen 2 pass balls get by the catcher, scoring runs for the Doubledays. Pitch, line to the outfield, and that's going to drop. Karen Kehoe walks it off for Auburn as Tommy Kerwin comes around to score, and the Doubledays pull off what felt like an improbable comeback, scoring 4 runs, 3 in the 6th inning, and a walk-off single right there for Kieran Kehoe, winning this ball game 8-7. What a game as he's getting mobbed in the left field. Wow.
What
Auburn,
a game.
what a game indeed. Auburn comes through for the win. Auburn's bats look frozen for about 3 to 4 innings. Come alive thanks to a lot of good at-bats. In the 6th, Karen Kehoe walks it off to right field in the 7th. Hey, if you were here at Falcon Park, you saw not only one good game today, you saw 2 good games, 2 great games, might I add. What a night of baseball here at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York.
Just when it seemed like Auburn was out of it. A miraculous run. And the reason that Auburn was in this spot in the first place was because of those unforced errors that we've been talking about. And we saw Auburn capitalize in the best of ways on those errors made by the Jamestown TarpSkunks. Now, the Auburn fans giving a huge rallying applause to this Auburn team that absolutely deserves it.
Wow, think about just 24 hours for Auburn. Last night lost 12-2 in a mercy rule against Newark. Comes back and sweeps Jamestown. Not only with a nice, very good win in game number 1 behind a great start from Owen Burchard, but a comeback win here in game number 2. And we got to think, I want to go back to the 6th inning real quick. You talked about it. 6th inning, they scored 3 runs to tie this ball game at 7-7. They started that inning with 2 outs. Kehoe grounded out. Sam Meyer popped out. Walk, an error. Obviously scored and cleared the bases. You put the ball in play, good things are going to happen, and Auburn proved that here tonight.
Certainly, and yeah, just putting the ball in play was huge. We saw that Auburn just couldn't do that for a majority of the game against Jason Brown. Only 1 hit until that final rally. That Auburn just looked down and out because they capitalized on Daniel Thomas early on. Just absolutely destroyed him, sent him packing after 2 innings. But then Jason Brown just doing so good. Auburn finally figured him out, finally wore him down, and it got to a point where the Doubledays were just able to excel.
Doubledays get the 8-7 win. I want to give a quick shout out to Aiden Zur as well. His first night here in Auburn, I believe just got off the flight yesterday here. He comes in at Falcon Park, got out of a jam in the 6th inning. First pitch, there we go. Gave up a leadoff single, which we said a million times here tonight. In the 7th, worked around it, 2 strikeouts to get out of that inning. Set us up for this moment in the bottom of the 7th where Kieran Kehoe comes through big time for Auburn in this win. It wasn't a pretty win at any measures, but a win is a win at the end of the day.
A win is certainly a win, and sweeping the TarpSkunks goes a long way for the Doubledays in terms of the overall standings. Also, just for their schedule, it's a long break after this for Auburn. They get 3 days off before they come back on Thursday against the Salt Cats. So for Auburn to do this, it gets that momentum. You go into the break now thinking positively rather than a negative game, but the negative emotions easily could have been there. We easily could have been talking about how Auburn blew a very winnable game by getting complacent. Trust me, I guarantee you the practices for Auburn will be a lot better. You don't have to maybe run as much or take as much heat from the coaches now that you're able to come away with this win.
Auburn, what a win and what a game we witnessed here tonight. They won't be here at Falcon Park till Thursday, like Ryan mentioned. They'll be on the road on Tuesday in Batavia against the Mutt Dogs, and then again on Wednesday on the road against Elmira. They'll have a much-needed day off tomorrow. I can only imagine what they're feeling like after these two back-to-back doubleheader games. What a win for Auburn. They get the 8-7 walk-off win. They'll be back in action Tuesday, as I mentioned, and back here at Falcon Park on Thursday. Make sure if you're not able to come out here to Falcon Park, make sure you tune in, hit that subscribe button, notifications for every time the Auburn Doubledays are live here at home. What a game here tonight. Ryan, any final words about what you like about this game? What a day of baseball.
Just what a day of baseball, a storybook ending. Another reason why Falcon Park is always a great spot. Bring your family, bring everyone here. It's always a fun time. Managed to go 2-0 against a very good Jamestown team. Moves Auburn on the campaign up even further. Now 6-4-1 in league play, 7-5-1 overall. Auburn's putting together a great season. Come be a part of it on Thursday.
Absolutely. That's Ryan's story. I'm Luke Backman. Thank you for joining us for a great day of baseball. Auburn goes 2-0 on the day. We'll be back here live on YouTube Thursday for more Doubledays baseball. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and have a great night.